Hello world, and welcome to Coding After Effects Back to Basics. In this tutorial I want to talk about index. And what index does is it returns a index for a layer. So if I come over here to this column over here with the number sign in it, this is our index column. And under our index column is the numbers 1 and 2. And what these numbers represent is the order in which our layer appears in our composition. So if I go inside my print layer, which is a text layer, go to text and alt click on source text and type in index and push enter on the number pad, we get the number 1. And if I come back down here and create a new null object, since this null object is appearing before my print layer, we are now getting the number 2. And if I want the number 1 back, all I need to do is press E twice on print and come back to the source text and put in index -1, and we get 1 back. This is cool, but this is not really anything that useful. So to make this a little bit more practical, I want to make a clock face by using index. And the first thing I want to do is I want to center my print layer. So when I do duplicate this print layer, I wanted to make sure it looks centered. And I'm also going to move my anchor point, so when I do duplicate the print layer, it's not going to be touching each other every time I duplicate it. So to show you what I mean, I'm going to double click on print and I'm going to click on center text in my print window over here, and I'm going to come back to print and I'm going to press R to bring up rotation. I'm going to alt click and I'm going to type in parentheses index -1 multiply or times 30. And what I'm doing with these parentheses is I'm making sure that index -1 is done first before it's multiplied by 30. And the reason why I even want to subtract index by 1 is I want to make sure that I'm getting the same number that I was getting when I I want to make sure I'm getting the same number that's in my source text. So if I duplicate this right now and come to my composition, you can see that 2 is right next to my, well, it's on top of my 1, and this is something I don't want. So to fix this problem, I'm going to create a slider control, and I'm going to lock this effect window, so when I click out of here, this slider control is not going to go away. And I'm going to come to my print layer, press A, and I'm going to alt click on my anchor point, and I'm going to create a variable called X and have it equal to value square bracket 0, which is my first value for my anchor point. And I'm going to create another variable called Y, and I'm going to have this equal to the slider up here. And I'm going to create I'm going to create a square bracket with X and Y in there. So this way, once I duplicate print again, since the anchor point is now being controlled by the slider, if I move the slider now, you can see this is now being more separate because the anchor point is now farther away from the text. So now if I duplicate this, I can get all of the numbers that I need to create a clock face. And this is index. Well, I hope you learned something. If you like this video, check out my other videos. Until next time, peace out, world.